No, Obama was not a perfect president. But you know what he never, ever fucking did? He never goddamn embarrassed me. Cool, calm, collected, poised, educated, intelligent. Like, oh, I miss my man.
Okay, I know the last thing the internet needs is another white woman crying. But let me tell you, I just rewatched Becoming, Michelle Obama's documentary. And goddamn, I just miss the Obamas so much. I just miss them. And I miss feeling a hope. I miss feeling hopeful. And I know it's an excellent reminder that there is hope still and that we are stronger together. But goddamn, I fucking miss the Obamas. Oh, shit.
All right, I just watched a fairly long video of Barack Obama and Mom Donnie with those kids. Red nose, been blowing my nose. It made me cry. Unexpectedly. First of all, those videos are circulating. Please watch them. They are delightful and pure. They're so pure. And Barack Obama and Mom Donnie are so good with the kids. And the kids are so adorable. And the best thing about kids is that they don't care about famous people. And they say whatever they want. And it's perfect. And because Barack Obama and Mom Donnie aren't malignant narcissists like our president, they laughed and thought the kids were adorable and hilarious. And I was just thinking, like, I saw a clip of Trump on Easter talking to kids, which I think he shouldn't be around any children ever, by the way. And the clip I saw was of him asking them some form of, this is paraphrasing, but do you guys know anyone who voted for Kamala Harris? Because that was a really bad idea, to like 5-year-olds. Because of course that's what he did. And he had the Easter bunny standing behind him. Anyway, this video made me cry because I have forgotten what it is like to have leadership that behaves like Barack and Mom Donnie did in this video with children. This was a child care center in the Bronx. It was so precious and so funny and so sweet. And it was how leaders should behave in situations like that. And I miss that. There's like a huge hole. Anyway, if you see the videos, you need to watch them because they will make you feel good. I mean, also sad because we don't have that right now in the president, and his entire cabinet. But anyway, they are heartwarming and wonderful.
I just watched a TikTok reel of just like a montage of Obama being nice. And I cried because there's like 20 clips of him just being cute with kids, like coming into Chicago to some school, calling himself Skitty Santa and giving out presents. Him meeting this little Superman and he falls down. He's like, oh my God, you're so strong. Do we have that with our current president? I feel like every clip I see of him is just showing off something that he's working on. The ballroom, and now cleaning some pool that doesn't need to be cleaned. Why do I feel like my grandpa? Back in my day, we had a president that cared about people.
See, y'all should have never gave me the confidence. I mean, here we go, third video of the day. I just wanted to say, me and my coworkers, some of my coworkers, we miss Obama. Fuck the Democrat versus... That man knew how to address people, knew how to pronounce things, knew how to, articulate himself in a professional, presidential manner. And I just wanted to tell y'all, we miss Obama. This shit's sad. Really, it feels like Y'all know what it feels like. It's crazy out here. Let me know if y'all miss Obama. I know y'all do.
Miss Obama so much. We had it so good. Was Obama the perfect president? No, not by any means. Each president has had their faults. But Jesus Christ. I grew up with Obama in office, okay? Obama was in office from 2008 to 2016. That's my entire, teen life, okay? Y'all ever seen The Crown? You know that moment on one of the first few episodes of season 1 in The Crown after the king dies? And, Winston Churchill is giving his, basically his speech over the radio. There's a part where he talks about growing up in the August summers of Queen Victoria, and I'm just like, you know what? That's how I feel about Obama right now. It was a beautiful time. I was still able to go back and forth from Mexico. Getting a passport was $25. Gas was $2.50, maybe $3 sometimes. I'll admit, gas was expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but Lord, everything else wasn't. At that time, ramen was less than 25 cents. I know I said I wanted to grow up, but I'm tired of this, Grandpa. And I know it's too damn bad, but I'm tired.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Thank you so much for always coming back and tuning in. So guys, Americans, they are really missing Obama. This is whereby their leader, their choice, MAGA people, Donald Trump, has becoming a chaotic leader. So they are missing the calm leader, the under pressure leader who really inspire Americans. That is the Barack Obama. So they prefer the black leadership over this yellow man. So I want you guys to just continue watching this reaction from the white people towards how they are really missing the leadership of the Barack Obama, and then we will come back with more comment. I'm your host, Team Tessie Commander. If you haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. So let's continue watching these videos together, then I'll come back later.
I did not appreciate the Barack Obama presidency enough between the ages of 7 and 15 because God, I miss Obama. I just miss having a normal dude in the White House. Even if you disagreed with his politics, you could understand that he was an upstanding person and a good guy. At the same time, he had this impenetrable, unrelenting aura around him. Yeah, he was the commander-in-chief sometimes, but other times he was just Barack. Rewatching a lot of old clips, I miss when presidents were just normal people. Do you want to know what I miss equally as much as the Barack Obama presidency? Michelle Obama in the White House. God, dude, I miss Michelle. The first ladies, as far as I know, are not obligated to actually do anything, but every first lady before Melania was doing shit. But Michelle, she was doing the most. She was catching heat from some of the most far-right politicians out there because she said kids should eat healthier meals. Now we haven't had a baddie in the White House since 2016, and it absolutely shows. What the hell has Melania Trump actually done? For real, though. Every time she's on camera and she speaks, it looks like it's painful for her to do so. Michelle here was out on iCarly and doing promos for the Penguins of Madagascar like a regular person. Meanwhile, Melania can't even say the word pickles. It's weird. Even if they weren't in politics, Barack and Michelle would be such a power couple, man. They both have this no-nonsense swagger and aura about them, but at the same time, they're just so fun. I miss having them around. Come home, Obama. The babysitter is weird.
I genuinely miss Obama being president. I miss Obama being president. He was the first president that I ever voted for. I am going to be 33 years old this year, so I think I was 18 or 19 for his second term. Anyways, I digress. I just wanted to give you guys a list of things. Okay. I know you guys like to think Trump is just the greatest thing to happen to the United States since sliced bread, but you can never sit and explain, fact by fact about what makes him great. So I did a little list of things that collectively affect United States citizens good, well, whatever you want to call it. Number 1, in 2009, Barack Obama did the American Recover Act. This was what he did to pull the United States out of an 8-year-long recession caused by George W. Bush. Okay, moving on. He also signed the Paris Climate Agreement, meaning he was the first president to do something actively to address and combat climate change. I know you guys don't believe in science, but We're going to clap anyway because it's real. He is widely accredited for ending the war in Iraq, the war that we shouldn't have been in the first place, but George Bush is a warmonger. Also, Barack Obama signed the Affordable Health Care Act. This gave insurance access to millions of Americans, and it also meant that children under the age of, whenever they turned 18, they weren't automatically kicked off their parents' insurance. They were able to stay on until they were 26, which makes a huge difference for college-age children, right? Student loan reform. Barack Obama increased the amount of Pell Grant that a lot of people literally need and have to go to college. He also signed in where whenever you have a Pell Grant, when you graduate and it's time for you to start paying back any sort of loan or grant that you have, you don't pay back a Pell Grant, but you can take out an unsubsidized or a subsidized student loan through the government, through the federal government, and he made it to where you can base your payments off of your income. And last but not least, he is widely accredited for the killing of Osama bin Laden, the man that orchestrated 9/11, or that is said to have orchestrated 9/11. I'm not here to talk about conspiracy theories. I'm just here to state facts. So let's all just clap for the good old days and miss Barack Obama. I also want to add, although this was not something that he was able to achieve because Congress would not push it through, Barack Obama tried to raise minimum wage while he was in office. The last time it was successfully raised was in 2009 when it was raised to $7.25 or whatever it currently still is today. Barack Obama really pushed to try to raise minimum wage because a lot of our mama and daddies worked for 5, 10, 12 years with no fucking raise. Before you come for me, federal minimum wage sets the precedence for all other wages, okay? So yes.
Every one of these candidates say, Obama's weak. Putin's kicking sand in his face. When I talk to Putin, he's going to straighten out. Just looking at him, he's going to be. And then it turns out they can't handle a bunch of CNBC moderators.
Do you guys remember when we had to write a letter to the president? Because I still kept this. I literally kept the whole entire envelope. It has my address, but are you kidding me? The White House. It's like all the students would write a letter, and we got like a Dear Student back. It was so cool. I still kept it. It's from 2013. I have a picture of Obama. I have a picture of Bo Obama, their dog. Like, I kept everything. Like,
This whole, how come you're mad at Trump but not at Obama for the deportation numbers cracks me up because that just means that Obama's better. Obama did it better, faster, more efficient, with less American lives lost and less protests. Although there were nationwide ones, if you remember, like I do, because I was alive during then. We called him the deporter in chief. We, as in Democrats, the ACLU and the activist groups, because we didn't like the policies either. And do you know what the Republicans did? They called us morons and said that we ate our own and we didn't just get in line and there was no united front to us Democrats. And so, haha, weren't we hilarious? We weren't to be taken seriously. Mr. Marco Rubio and Miss Lindsey Graham were up there all the time talking about executive overreach. Look at him now, shining bright as a penny on that Air Force One with zero values and scruples left. But I digress. What you're telling me is Obama's better. What you're telling me is that none of this shit in Minneapolis is necessary because Obama did it better, faster, stronger. Trump sucks at his job, and this is just another indication of that.
It's about 8:15 a.m. Wednesday morning. I'm watching these a little bit. I went out and ran a couple errands, but farcical confirmation hearings for Pam Bondi to be our next Attorney General. Whatever. MAGA are all very, very, very upset that Michelle Obama is not going to attend Donald Trump's inauguration this coming Monday, January 20th. They're very upset that she's not going to be there. I guess one Fox host equated that to Donald Trump's election denialism of 2020. They hate Michelle Obama. They fucking hate her. She's been subjected to disgusting racist attacks since 2008. And for the last, I don't know, decade, they've referred to her as Mike Obama, said that she was born male, said that their two kids are not their two kids, they're somebody else's kids. These people hate her. They've subjected her to a decade or more's worth of absolutely disgusting, vile attacks. But now they're upset that she's not going to Trump's inauguration on Monday. We're living in extremely dangerous times. We are also living in extremely unserious times. These people are not serious people in any way, shape, or form. They are boobs. They are buffoons. They are morons. They are racists. And they're transphobic. They're bigots and they're misogynists. And they expect, because Donald Trump won and Republicans now control Congress, they expect all of us.
Can't be the only one that'll go back and listen to Obama's speeches, or sometimes I go and I watch the events that they hosted at the White House. Like, they have this one event that they hosted where they did like a Latin night, and it was all the Latin artists. When J-Lo and Mark Anthony were married, I think Gloria Estefan came out, like all these like Latin artists came out, and Obama and Michelle Obama, they're just, you know, vibing. And then they had a soul night. I think it was Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind and Fire. I don't know. It was just a bunch of people, but I like to go back and watch them because, like, it just makes me happy. I miss those times. Like, I miss when he was in office, and it just felt like we had hope. Like, we had something to strive for, and things were going to get better, and things weren't perfect, but they were on their way towards being perfect, or at least being equitable. And I don't know if you can tell, I've just been like crying and like sad all day about what's been going on. And I don't know if maybe that'll help somebody. Y'all can go back and watch Obama speeches or Obama stuff on YouTube, because that just makes me happy sometimes.
I've been noticing for years that the Trump cult is absolutely obsessed with Barack Obama. So I decided to do some research to try and find out why the MAGA cult is so obsessed with Obama. Barack Obama has not been president for 10 years, and MAGA can't stop talking about him. They are literally obsessed with the man. They try and blame him for things that are happening today. That's not random. There's a psychological reason for that, although it seems a little creepy. Here are the 4 reasons the Trump cult is obsessed with President Obama. 1. The psychological wage of whiteness. In 1935, sociologist W.E.B. Du Bois at Atlanta University studied poor white Americans. White Americans, even the poor ones, with no money and no power, felt superior to black Americans. Not because they earned it, but because for 250 years the entire system told them they were superior to black people. The law said it, the church said it, the culture said it. Du Bois called it the psychological wage of whiteness. This is a status payment people collect just for being white, a floor that white people couldn't fall beneath. Then Barack Obama became president. He occupied the highest status role in the country. That destroyed the floor. And when a status floor breaks, people don't quietly adjust. They backlash. Obama didn't just win an election. He took something they didn't even know they were depending on. They didn't earn this special status, but they thought it was stolen when Barack Obama got elected. And they've been trying to take it back ever since. 2. Social identity threat. Psychologist Henry Teifel at the University of Bristol spent decades studying in-group conflict. What he found was when a member of an out-group outperforms the in-group, the psychological response is not one of admiration, but hostility. Tifo called this social identity threat. A failed black president would have confirmed the Trump cult's worldview, but Obama being polished, competent, scandal-free, and widely respected by world leaders made it impossible to call him incompetent. The better Obama performed, the more threatening he became to the cult. Not because of his policies, but because his success directly contradicted everything they believe about the natural order of things. He wasn't supposed to be better. He wasn't supposed to be a gentleman and a scholar, and yet he was. That doesn't just go away. When weak, mediocre people see someone they believe was inferior reach the highest office in the country, they don't get inspired. They become filled with rage. They feel lied to, and they need someone to blame for the hate and rage. That target is Obama. Everything they could never be. 3. Scapegoating. Obama left office in 2017, but his name never left the conversation because Trump spent more than a decade smearing his name. It all started before Trump was even president. Trump spent years pushing the birther conspiracy, claiming Obama wasn't American, wasn't legitimate, wasn't one of us. That wasn't politics. That was a deliberate effort to strip Obama of his humanity and plant him in the minds of millions as the source of everything wrong. Then when Trump took office, the playbook continued. Every problem needed an explanation. Economy struggling? Obama's fault. Crime rate rising? Obama's fault. Anything going wrong in the country? Obama's fault. Psychologists call this scapegoating. Assign one figure as the source of all your problems and anxiety, which then collapses onto that single target. It feels like clarity to his followers. It feels like understanding. It isn't. Trump didn't just keep Obama's name alive. He spent over a decade turning him into the villain of the story. And to the Trump cult members, this story still is true. 4. Cognitive dissonance. Here's what made the obsession permanent. The MAGA cult couldn't call Obama corrupt. There were no scandals. They couldn't call him incompetent. The record didn't support it. They couldn't even call him unpresidential. He was polished, disciplined, and respected around the world. Psychologist Leon Festinger at Stanford University studied what happens when people are confronted with evidence that contradicts their deeply held beliefs. Weak people don't update their beliefs when confronted with contradicting evidence. They double down on their original beliefs. Festinger called this cognitive dissonance. MAGA was left holding a belief system that Obama's entire existence disproved. And instead of resolving that contradiction by updating their worldview, they resolved it by hating him harder. The obsession isn't just political, it's psychological, and it has nowhere left to go. So it goes out onto everyone else in rage and obsession. Obama is living proof that the psychological wage of whiteness doesn't exist anymore. And to weak people who never earned that status in the first place, it feels like an identity crisis. So they obsess more, say his name more, talk about him obsessively all the time. They even have a name for this now, Obama derangement syndrome. Because Obama didn't just win the presidency. He broke a hierarchy millions of people thought was permanent. And they've been trying to undo that moment ever.
Obama did it better. Obama did it better. The new talking point from MAGA is, well, Obama dropped bombs too. Yeah, he did. And he did it better. Obama was able to use surgical strikes and limited military operations to take out targets and not start a fucking war. How about that shit? He did it better. In fact, most of the things that the Trumpies like about Trump, Obama did better. We'll go with unemployment. Obama did better. Economy. Obama did better. Deportations. Obama did better. He was able to deport way more people than Donald Trump, and he's able to do it on 1/10 of the freaking budget. Yeah? And without sending fucking goon squads into American cities. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get across a healthcare bill. Trump can't. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get tax cuts for the low and middle class. Trump, for the upper class, for the rich. Obama did it better. So trying to say that Obama did it too on any subject just shows the failure of Trump and the failure of his people to recognize that everything that Trump said Obama did it fucking better. They just don't like that a black man did it better than a white man. And one last point, let's not forget that Obama was able to get Iran to enter into a non-proliferation treaty. for nukes. Trump couldn't do it, so Obama did it better.
Since our country is in need of a great leader, I thought I'd wear my Obama hat, because that's really the last true president we've ever had. Biden did his best. Don't agree with everything at all. Hell, I didn't even agree with everything Obama did. But one thing we as Americans could count on, that we would never be embarrassed by him. Whether if he was in America or if he was in another country or continent, he always represented America first. Not ego, not big business, not a particular race, creed, or religion, or sexual orientation. That's what American patriotism looks like. This will be forever my president. Yeah.
Why do you think Obama was born in Kenya?
Well, that's where his birth certificate is from. He doesn't want to show it, but that's where he's from.
Where did you hear this?
It's all over the news.
What news in particular?
Well, just listen to it. You'll see it.
Because he was born in the United States of America.
No, he wasn't. Prove it.
So there's nothing Barack Obama could do to prove that he was born here?
If there was maybe witnesses that were attendants at his birth.
Like his mother? Would you listen to his mother?
No. She has motivation to lie.
So you don't trust Donald Trump's birth certificate either?
Yeah, because he's been here forever.
Well, how do you know? What's your proof?
Well, his parents and...
But no, but they're biased. I'm talking about like people who could be in
Why
the
would
room.
they be biased?
Why do you support Donald Trump?
Because of his policies.
Which policies?
His stance on immigration, specifically, I definitely agree with that one.
Okay, like what about immigration?
The illegals who have come into our country are here illegally, and I believe they should not be allowed to be here legally.
So it's got Donald Trump's mugshot and never surrender, right?
Yes.
But that is when he surrendered.
Fault is what's happening in Ukraine right now.
Well, of course, it's Biden's fault. He didn't do anything to protect the nation, to protect those people.
When you look at what happened between Russia...
I think I finally understand why Donald Trump hates Barack Obama and Michelle Obama so much, and it really has nothing to do with that White House Correspondents' Dinner years ago. It's that America still loves, the world still loves Barack and Michelle Obama. See, last night was an NBA All-Star game, and, well, the Obamas were there. The camera panned to them, and the crowd cheered. Everybody stood up. They got a standing ovation to the point that President Obama stood up and waved at the crowd, which led to more cheering. Meanwhile, Donnie Boy Trump shows up at sporting events and half to 3/4 of the crowd boos, to the point that the same media networks have to put clapping and cheering tracks over it to keep his supporters from attempting to boycott them. So, Donald Trump really hates the Obamas because the world still loves them.
Y'all want to know why they hate Obama so much? Watch this.
Actually, I don't. And that's why we're here. Okay. Thank you. All right. What I'd like to do... No, don't worry about it, guys. Okay, let me finish. Let me... How about... These guys don't need to go. Let me finish. I respect the passion of these young people because they feel deeply about the concerns for their families. Now, what you need to know when I'm speaking as President of the United States, and I come to this community, is that if, in fact, I could solve all these problems without passing laws in Congress, then I would do so. But we're also a nation of laws. That's part of our tradition. And so the easy way out is to try to yell and pretend like I can do something by violating our laws. And what I'm proposing is the harder path, which is to use our democratic processes to achieve the same goal that you want to achieve But it won't be as easy as just shouting. It requires us lobbying and getting it done. So, so for those of you who are committed to getting this done, I am going to march with you and fight with you every step of the way to make sure that we are welcoming every striving, hard-working immigrant who sees America the same way we do. As a country where no matter who you are or what you look like or where you come from, you can make it if you try. And if you're serious about making that happen, then I'm ready to work with you. But it is going to require work. It is not simply a matter of us just saying we're going to violate the law. That's not our tradition. But the great thing about this country is we have this wonderful process of democracy, and sometimes it is messy and sometimes it is hard. But ultimately, justice and truth win out. That's always been the case in this country. That's going to continue to be the case today.
They know they could never. They know they could never. And that's why they hate him. That's why he is so far under their skin. And it's I hate to say unfortunate, but it's kind of unfortunate that he did follow the law and follow the process, because the other people hated him for doing that. If he would have broke the law and not followed the rules or whatever the case may be, this would have been a completely different conversation. But
I don't know. I'm emotional now. I don't know if you guys watch the elections. Whew. I was emotional last night, and now I'm trying to get ready for work today, and I'm emotional today. Wow. After months and months of being ashamed to be an American, still ashamed, still embarrassed. Prop 50 passed. Mickey Sherrill, wow, what a woman. I mean, Mondani, to see women, minorities, and younger people, not decrepit old people, finally getting a seat at the table. Oh my God. It just feels like finally our country is uniting a little bit, and we were heard. Wow, super powerful stuff. I mean, just to see women starting to take seats in power, like Virginia. Fuck yeah, Virginia. I mean, Mickey Sherrill's New Jersey speech literally, like, moved me, brought me to tears, and I don't even live in Jersey. Oh, God. And I love Newsom. Gosh, a hot president will unite us. Anyways, it's a good day to have a good day. Prop 50 passed, and women and minorities are in power a little bit more. Mondani. Yes, guys, good job. Have a great day. Try to have a great day.
Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you have just watched how people they are really missing Barack Obama. Barack Obama was a calm leader, and he was just a leader that can really control the pressure of Americans. Because wherever you have the pressure, even the opposition leader, they really accepted his speech. Wherever Barack Obama was really making a speech, it really balanced all even the opposition leader. They really came and agree with his term. So they are really missing such kind of leader. A leader who really who prefer the diplomatic over the bullying, because Donald Trump has really made some people, because when you are a bad leader, or if you are not really leading well, the people will now regretting you, will now remember the recent leadership. That's why just there, and that is the Barack Obama. So Barack Obama was really in hearts of the people, because he was calm. He was not in social media. He was anywhere. He was in social media, but not trending. But Donald Trump has been turned to be the chaotic leader, because 24/7 in every trends. You see you see Donald Trump is really trending with bad things, not for the good things. But so people, they are now trying to really to compare the leadership of the Barack Obama and this one of the Donald Trump. And one of the things really making this to come up and really, I know that during the Barack Obama time, we had the challenges of maybe the cost of living and so many things. But Barack Obama has really calmed out the pressure. He came out and addressed that things, and everybody really accepted. Everybody were very balanced with that decisions, and that's why you didn't see any chaotic pressure from how cost of living is really killing them. How there's no any complaining from that leadership. But now look, this leadership of the Donald Trump, a lot of people, they are really going through a lot to have seen the how cost of living is hitting these MAGA people, the farmers, the when you come to farmers, when you come to the tariffs, so many people really crying out. And also the people internationally, people, they are now saying Barack Obama was the best choice, because when the Barack Obama, he really preferred the diplomacy over the over like this of the Donald Trump. Because I can just take a case of a case of the Iran. So Iran, Donald Trump really handled this Iran case using the diplomacy relationship. That's why we had the deal, this nuclear deal, this nuclear, which is really hitting the Trump morning from evening, trying really to bomb the Iran, this nuclear. But really during the Donald Trump tenure, he came out and really he addressed that issue with Iran, and it really came out with, they really agreed how they really ran this nuclear, and we did not have that war. It was solved once and for all. But now, look now how Donald Trump is really handling this issue, how he's really dealing with Iran. We have seen a lot of threats between both the two sides. Threats coming out like, hey, we'll bomb you, sending such threats messages, sending threats to the Iran that you open the Hamas, don't do that. That is not a leader. A leadership will just come out and really sit down and you solve that issue. And that's why now we have the global crisis in terms of the oils and so many fuels and so many things. And that's why now the world is now seeing Donald Trump as a threat, a leader who cannot really control America, who cannot really control such small cases. But Barack Obama make sure that he left the mark. The way wherever Barack Obama went, he received a hero welcome. We saw recently. He was in Canada. He really received a hero welcome. Like, that's a world leader. But now, look the situation of now, this yellow man, he cannot really handle. And in terms of this, when I'm talking about the Michelle Obama, people are now missing Michelle Obama, because now we have seen the crisis of how the low middle, how our mothers, how they are really suffering. And now this Michelle Obama really came out with kind of leadership. When we remember the Obamacare, they really cared a lot of them people. So Barack Obama was really, when he came in your house, he was a calm leader. He was a listening leader, listening the cries of the leader, and then he will explain you, and you will be very, very successfully agreed with him. And so also our mothers, our children, they are really missing the leadership of the Michelle Obama. This family of the Trump, Melania, they have really becoming a chaotic in social media, trending each and every time in bad. But Michelle Obama and his family were very calm leadership. They have the leadership inside them, and that's why now there was people, they are really admitting to have such kind of leaders over this Donald Trump. So guys, I want to hear from you if you really miss the leadership of the Barack Obama, and is it really acceptable? For now, I've seen such many countries, they want to have a deal with Barack Obama. Do you really accept that that deals like they ran over Donald Trump because of the Donald Trump leadership? So I want to hear from you. I'm your host, Team Tessie Commenter. Thank you so much for your loyal supporters, for always coming back and watching my video, and also for the membership. I will say thank you so much. So I want to hear from you guys. I'm your host, Team Tessie Commentary. Bye for now. See you in the next video.